نوينا التعلم وتعليم وتذكر وتذكير ونفع والانتفاع والفرد والاستفادة والحث على التمسك بكتاب الله وسنة رسوله صلى الله عليه وآله وصحبه وسلم ودعاء إلى الهدى ودلت على خير ابتغاء وجه الله ومرضاته وقربه وثوابه سبحانه وتعالى مع لطف وعافية برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم إنا نسألك علما لدني ومشرب صافي الهاني يا وهاب يا غني. اللهم إنا نسألك علما لدني ومشرب صافي الهاني يا وهاب يا غني. اللهم إنا نسألك علما لدني ومشرب صافي الهاني يا وهاب يا غني. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين. آمين آمين يا رب العالمين. الحمد لله الحمد لله الحمد لله. We continue our book المرام من شرح عقيدة الإسلام وشرح عقيدة الإسلام. So yesterday we were discussing about the decree, the qadar and the qadar. So I hope that you all had please give some thought, give us some thought to the discussion, right? And internalize, okay, and internalize the discussion. So I really hope that you all have done that, inshallah. Right. So Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad. Right. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad. Now, so mashallah, so we're continuing from there. I said, mashallah kan, وما لم يشاء لم يكن ولو اجتمع الخلق كلهم على أن يحركوا في الوجود ذرة أو يسكنوها دون إرادة الله تعالى لعجزوا عنه. And so understand, understand that we do nothing in creation. We only do, we make choices, yes. We choose what we want to do, yes. But al-aqibatu lillahi ta'ala. I mean, the end of the matter, everything goes back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's it, right? So I'm going to read from the text here. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad. Now, that is, and therefore, us choosing and us, trying and us putting effort, all of it from start to end is just worship. Basically, as Imam Al-Halal says here, وإنما العباد أسباب لينالوا الثواب أو يستحقوا العقاب. As simple as that. All that you do is for you to gain reward or that to make you deserving of punishment. That's it. That's it. People can do as they want or can give as many excuses as they want. At the end of the day, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will judge. And Allah will see as to how much you have, how much effort you have put in. Right? So which is why you said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what all He expects from us is to try. And try. That's all, to try. Put in effort and try. Because He knows that He is the one who controls everything, subhanahu wa ta'ala. So all that's on you, O human being, right, is to try. That's all. Try. Right? Try your very best, in this world that you are in. In doing what is right. Now, وقوله فما شاء كان وما لم يشاء لم يكن. We say in our Latif every single morning and evening. Whatever Allah wants will be. Whatever Allah did not want will never be. ولو اجتمع الخلق كلهم على أن يحركوا في الوجود ذرة أو يسكنوها دون إرادته تعالى لعجزوا عنه. If all of creation would come together, right, to move something, even an atom's weight, right, in this existence, right, or to make it stop moving, right, they will not, and if it's not by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it will never happen. They will never be able to do it. Okay, understand that, and understand the qada and the qadar clearly. Understand this clearly. Okay, and understand, the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right, so here أي أنه لا أحد يستطيع أن يحصل لك أذى لم يقدره الله تعالى عليك، بل يدفعه الله سبحانه عنك. وكذلك إذا وكذلك إذا أغراك أحد للنفع فلا يمكن أن يحقق لك ما يعدك به إذا كان الله سبحانه وتعالى لم يرده لك. So understand that this statement that, if someone wants to harm you, with something that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has not decreed for you, He will never be able to harm you because Allah has not decreed it for you. Only the decree will happen. Understand that? Only what is decreed will happen in creation. And so no matter what someone says, they want to benefit, they want to harm you, they want to give you, they want to prevent you. If it's not decreed, it's not decreed. It will never happen regardless of what they say. And nobody in this creation has power. Nobody has power except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Like and in fact, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has decreed that it will never come to you, then Allah will deflect it from you. And because it will never come to you. And just like that, if somebody says to you and that they want to benefit you with something, they promised you, they cannot, they will not. And if it's something that is not, decreed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it will never come to you. They will never be able to fulfill, the promises, which is why we always say after we promise something, we say what? Inshallah, right? There's the ta'liq, and there's a clause. I promise to do something for you if Allah wills, right? If Allah wills. So if Allah has not willed it, I can never do it. Right? If Allah has not willed it, I can never do it for you. Subhanallah. Right? So really internalize all of this. Okay. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, ما أصاب من مصيبة في الأرض ولا في السماء ولا في أنفسكم إلا في كتاب قبل أن من قبل أن نبرأها. And so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, and there is not a thing that will afflict you, right, on this earth and not in yourselves except that it is in a clear book, in the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in the decree of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. أي رواه إمام أحمد وفي مسنده وغيره عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال إن لكل شيء حقيقة وما بلغ عبد حقيقة الإيمان حتى يعلم أن ما أصابه لم يكن ليخطئه وما أخطأه لم يكن ليصيبه. ما شاء الله. Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وسلم said, إيمان, he said that every single thing has a reality. Okay, every single thing has a reality, and that a servant, right, does not attain true iman. A servant does not attain true iman or the reality of iman until he knows that whatever has come to him, it will not have missed him, and whatever has missed him, it will have never come to him. Right? So until you realize that, you see, so think about it, Iman gives you a lot of tranquility. It does. That's why Iman is from the word Aman. Aman means security and peace. Like really, like how, like you see, if you can understand this statement, that whatever is meant for you, it will come to you no matter what. It has been written for you. And whatever was never meant for you, why do you fret over it? And why do you feel the loss over it, or you feel sad over it when it didn't come to you? It was never meant for you in the first place. You could not have ever brought it to you. It was never meant for you, right? So iman gives a tranquility in the heart of a person that you just, oh, okay, it's not for me. It was never meant for me. No matter what I have done, so you say, oh, I should have done that, I should have been there, I should have. No, I should have what I should have. As Imam al-Haddad says, لو ولم وكيف هذا من قول الأحمق. Right? It is from the words of the foolish, and that makes a person turn away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to say, if only had done this and done that. No, subhanallah, it is one. Which is why the more you go into iman, the more you realize it gives you a lot of sanity. It does. It gives you your sanity, it gives you your tranquility, it gives you your peace, because you realize that it is all in Allah's hands. Do your best, yes, as a form of worship, yes. Then do not beat yourself up over the outcome. Don't. It's not yours. It was never yours to determine the outcome. Understand that, okay, human being, understand that. Right? It was never yours, the outcome. Allah has determined the outcome already before you were even created, right? All that is on you is in effort. And then وَأُفَوِّضُ أَمْرِي إِلَى اللَّهِ إِنَّ اللَّهَ بَصِيرٌ بِالْعِبَادِ. And then I entrust my matter to Allah. Allah, He is the one who sees His creation, subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَإِنَّ لِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ حَقِيقَةً. I, for everything there is a reality. وَمَا بَلَغَ عَبْدٍ حَقِيقَةَ الْإِيمَانِ. So a person does not reach the truth of Iman حتى يعلم أن ما أصابه لم يكن يخطئه, until he knows that whatever comes to him will not have missed him. وما أخطأه لم يكن ليصيبه, and whatever has missed him will never have come to him. So understand that deeply, and then stop regretting over things. Of course, when we say, to regret over, we say remorse. I say remorse over sins. Yes, remorse over sins. That means you feel sorry for it. You feel sorry that you have done such and such. That is the condition of tawbah, to feel remorse, right? Remorse, regret, in that way, right? But if, let's say, you made decisions that are not sinful, and you made decisions in life, and then bad things happen, and you did it within your own capacity, you did it within your own ability to judge, right? And the result is Allah's to determine. Right? So you will be rewarded if you had put in the best of your effort to make the best choice. But making the best choice does not ensure the best outcome. Let's understand that. Right? Making the best choice does not at all in any way ensure the best outcome. Understand that, right? And making a lousy choice does not also, definitely lead to a lousy outcome. It doesn't. There's no link, right? The thing about good choices and bad choices is just a matter of worship. It's a matter of worship. So you put in your very best effort, like your very best effort to gain, your knowledge and to make the best choices for your family and those around you, the very best effort. And then thereafter, khalas, that's all. There's all is asked of you as a form of worship. Right? Let's drill that into our heads as a form of worship. They're all forms of worship, either forms of worship or forms of neglect. Right? So they can be rewarded or they can be punished, right, of what you do on this earth. But the result is not yours. Right? The result is not yours. To determine. نعم. وفي حديث صحيح واعلم أن الأمة لو اجتمعت على أن ينفعوك بشيء لم ينفعوك إلا بشيء قد كتبه الله لك ولو اجتمعوا على أن يضروك بشيء لم يضروك إلا بشيء قد كتبه الله عليك رفعت الأقلام وجفت الصحف. So in the hadith, Rasulullah said, know that if the entire of all the nations came together to benefit you by something, they would never benefit you by it except by something that Allah has written for you. And if all the nations came together to harm you with something, they will never be able to harm you by it except what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has written for you. The pens have been lifted and the pages have dried. So understand that as you, no matter, even the whole world work towards something that is not written, it cannot happen. It cannot happen. And so all the people in the world, all those tyrants, all those oppressors, they think they are in control. They think they are in control. But the moment Allah gives the rule, Allah gives the commandment, khalas, they're gone. And they're gone, they're flattened, they're destroyed. Right? فإذا علم الإنسان أنه لا يصيبه إلا ما قدر له أو عليه استراحت نفسه زكيدا وذهب حزنه نعم على ما وقع من المكروه الماضي ولم يهتم لما يتوقعه في المستقبل. وقد قيل في هذا المعنى سيكون الذي يقضي سخط العبد أو رضي فدع الهم يا فتى كل هم سينقضي. MashaAllah. So here he says, so the natija means the result of this iman. Okay, the result of this iman. So in a sense, when we take every part of iman, right? What is the result? Right? So when we took the part of Allah knows everything, Allah is all powerful over everything, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He knows the tiniest movements within you. Allah knows the whispers of the heart. Allah knows so all of this, what is the natija? What is the result of that? That you have muraqabah, you have taqwa, you fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you got over your actions. At the same time, you know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He sees all injustice. He sees what people have said. He sees what you have tried. He sees everything, subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? So you see, aqidah fixes the human being. It does. Subhanallah, I really, this is why I cannot wrap my mind around people that they refuse to accept that it is a matter of weakness of faith or lack of knowledge, that we can't entrust our matters to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and just live life with tranquility. I don't know. I don't know. For me, I don't know how, because we're learning all this stuff. You're studying this stuff. To apply it means for you to pull yourself out of the of your own stress, of your own depression, of your own anxiety. If you really, implement all of these, truths in Islam, these are truths, right? So if you really implement them in your lives, in your hearts, you should be able to let go of worry and anxiety and depression. You should be able to, right? So it should happen, right? Because if you implemented this really truly, so like for example, if something comes to you and you're like, and and you become depressed, you become upset, you become this, you become that, and you say to yourself, you know what, mashallah kana ma lam yasha lam yakun. Whatever Allah has willed will be. وأفوض أمري إلى الله. I entrust my matter to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I do my best. I've done my best. وخلاص. I will carry on my life. I have done my best. And Allah sees what I have done. Right? I mean, subhanAllah, it is iman. It is iman. Ah, ya Allah. It is weakness in iman that we fall into all of these things. Because you don't understand that you don't control a thing in your life. You don't control a thing in your life. So why is there anxiety when it's not in your hands in the first place? You get me? So it's like like you imagine, like, for example, if you're gonna have a program, for example, right? Have a program, or to organize something. If you are told, okay, khalas, so and so will do everything. Okay, so and so will organize everything. They will do everything. In the program, they will handle everything, the finances, the planning, the whatever, everything. They say that they will do it. Will you have worry about it? You won't, right? You won't worry about anything. Like for example, if you're gonna have a wedding, right? And you engage a wedding planner. So the wedding planner says, I will cover everything. You don't have to worry about, and you just sit back, relax, and enjoy your wedding. Right? Will you have any worry like, oh, have we ordered this? Have you ordered that? Have we done this? Have we done that? Have we booked this place? Have we booked that place? You won't have any worry whatsoever, because why? You know someone's handling it. And someone credible, someone trustworthy is handling it. And basically to extend it, and of course Allah is above all examples, Allah is in charge of our lives. Full stop. He's in charge of our lives. Why are you worrying so much? And why are you worrying so much? Why are you having all this anxiety and worry? Why? Like, subhanallah, there's this statement, if you have been to my house in Singapore, some of you have been to my house, my parents' house. My parents house in Singapore. My father, he likes to paste all these quotes on the toilet, on the wall. So my father is. Since I was young, he will just buy all these quotes from popular bookstore, and then he will just paste them everywhere in the bathroom wall. There is this particular quote, and I've memorized all of them. It's been there since I was probably one. So like this quote had been there since I was young, I will read every single one and memorize every single one. Subhanallah. If only you can put hadith rabbits in the toilet, you can put hadith in there. Right? But we memorized all of it. I think I memorized all of it. So there's one quote in there, right, that it goes, and I always thought about it, It goes, that you should, I think it goes something like this, that you should understand that from today onwards, your hands, your life is in capable hands, and they put yours, right? So the statement goes, you should understand that from today onwards, your life is in capable hands, yours. And the whole time I was thinking, I don't really like that quote, right? Because if I have full certainty that my life is in my hands, oh yeah, halak, I'm destroyed. If it's in my hands, me, wala khalas, I'm not gonna survive this. I am like the most like irresponsible, most inefficient, most clumsy, most incapable person. Subhanallah. The statement should change about yours to God's, right? And you should realize from today onwards that your life is in capable hands. It is in the power of one who is all able, all powerful, all merciful, all knowing, subhanahu wa ta'ala. God. It's in God's hands. Your life is in God's hands. So why are you worrying so much? Why are you having so much anxiety? Like you're not the one in control, and you were never the one in control. It was never you. Right? But human beings, they think it's them, and therefore they go into all of these, states of being, and they destroy themselves. Right? So anyway, alhamdulillah. Right, so he says here the natija, right? So the result of this, right? The result of this. So those people who say it's meant for them to sin, how do they know that? Do they have seen a decree? Have you looked into the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? They're meant to sin. Have they? And the thing about it is that this is the biggest, a problem with them. They will never say, I'm meant to obey. People never say that. They will say, oh, it's decreed that I'm a sinner. Has anyone ever said, oh, it's decreed that I'm going to be a wali? Why can't you say that? Decreed that I'm going to be a saint, I'm going to be an obedient person. No one says that because there's enough stalking. It's enough stalking. You can't speak about a decree because it's not in your knowledge. No one can say, right, it's meant for me to do this, it's meant for me to do that. It's not in your knowledge. How do you know? So I can't even say for me, it's meant for me, to do something, in the future. It's meant for me. For example, right, if I say, oh, it's meant for me to study, for example, if I say right now, right, it's meant for me to study tahawulat, for me to go back to my country and to teach it. I can't even say that. What if I die along the way? What if I become incapacitated? What if I become, I become mute? An illness strikes me. What if I just withdraw from society? What if I don't know. I don't know. I can't say that I'm here and I'm meant to go back to teach. I can't even say that. I don't know. So what I know is what's in front of me right now, which is a choice to obey or disobey. There's a choice in front of you, right? And so you make your choice. And if you choose to disobey, then Allah has informed you that the consequence of disobedience is punishment. Allah has told you clearly. And if you choose to obey, then Allah has informed you that obedience leads to reward. That's it. Right? So everyone has a choice. Everyone has a choice. And I am shocked at people who think that the human beings have no choice. It is shocking. And to hear people think that you think we're being forced. No, we're not being forced. The result is Allah's yes, but the choice is yours. You choose what you're gonna do. Of course, the result is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? And you will be rewarded or you will be punished based on your choice. Right? So all of these statements, right, people say, oh, I was meant to sin. It's all excuses lah. Frankly, it's all excuses. They want to sin. Right? They want to disobey. They want to be what they are. They have chosen it. They've chosen that lifestyle. They've made their choices. And they don't want to feel bad about it, right? And so they make excuses. They make excuses to say that, oh, I'm meant to be this way. And they want to blame Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala about it. It's exactly the way of Iblis. Iblis, when he did not bow to Nabi Adam alayhi salam, and he said, Ya Allah, you knew. You knew I was not going to bow to Adam, and you still made me do it. You knew in your eternal knowledge that I was not going to bow to Adam. And you still created him, and you still commanded us to bow to him, and you knew I was not able to do so. What, Allah's fault? Blame Allah? No. Iblis had full ability to bow to Nabi Adam or not to bow to Adam. He had full choice. He could choose to do so. He refused to do so because he was arrogant. Iblis. He couldn't get over himself. Right? So all these kind of statements, right, is really just flat out excuses. Flat out excuses. And you can try and engage someone who keeps giving excuses. They'll keep giving more and more excuses. until they snap out of it and they say to themselves they are going to stop giving excuses and start improving. But that has to come from themselves. It has to be a desire in the self to want to improve. It has to be, and it's Allah says that they will not change until they change what is in themselves. Right? So you have to have the desire first, right? To want to improve. And Allah subhanahu will, facilitate for you improvement. But for as long as people don't want to improve, or they don't see any flaw in themselves, then they will stay the way they are. Really. Right? And Allah subhanahu will give that way for them. Right? Now, I saw here that the natija or the result of this iman, فَإِذَا عَلِمَ الْإِنسان, and if a human being knows, then nothing will afflict him except what has been decreed for him or against him. He will have rest. استراحت نفسه, and nafsu, his nafs will have rest. وَذَهَبَ حُزْنُهُ, and his sadness or depression will go away. Right? If you understand this, you will have rest, as I was saying earlier on. That if you understand that your life is in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah is handling everything for you, you will be rested, you'll be relaxing, you will only be focused on doing what is your duty to do, which is worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, performing your responsibilities, performing your duties, right? Praying to Allah, because Allah is handling everything. What is on you is to just do what is on you as responsibilities as a human being. Understand that, and all of sadness will go away from you. And على ما وقع من المكروه الماضي, and based on what bad things have happened in the past, you will not fret about it anymore. You will not be sad about it anymore. You'll be like, hey, khalas, it happened. It happened. I tried what I tried. I did what I did. If you see where you fell short, okay, you learn from your lessons. Okay, next time try not to do it that way, and so on and so forth. There's all forms of worship. Naam. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad. Naam. Right. And then walam yahtam lima yatawaqqa fil mustaqbal, and you will not have any worries about what will happen in the future. You won't have any worries about what will happen in the future in the dunya. So of course, the future in the akhirah, yes, you worry there. Okay, you worry about what happened in the akhirah. But in dunya, whether I have risk, whether I don't have risk, whether I have a job, don't have a job, whether I have, you put your very best effort. And Allah knows you put your very, very best effort. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will arrange matters for you. And it's been said, in the science of poetry, and whatever has been decreed will be, whether the servant is pleased with it or not. And so leave your worry, O young person, for all of what you worry has already been decreed. Like a poetry, mashallah. So like, why are you worrying for? Like, why are you anxious for? What are you anxious about? Right? Leave it, khalas, leave it. So don't confuse the decree of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with your choice to obey. That's the problem right there. You are given choices. Then the decree happens. But you're given choices. Don't say, it's all, and you mix your choice with decree. And you say, I'm made to do this because it's a decree of Allah. So I'm made to this. No. You have a choice. You have a choice. And the choice that you make will unravel the decree. Understand this statement. Okay, the choice that you make will unravel the decree. You have no idea what was a decree. But what you do know right now, today, at this point in time, you know your choices. You know your choices. You do not know the decree. Nobody here can say that, I meant to do this. I meant to be this way. No, you don't know the decree. No one knows the decree. What you do know is your choice. Only Allah knows the ultimate decree of things. Subhanallah. Question here. So you still got the video is on actions and ibadah and every of the qadr. How about the yaqeen that we need to have when performing the ibadah? Naam, yaqeen. Yeah, yaqeen. So at the end of the day, right? So you see, stories about sahabat curing others from Surah Fatiha and how to perform ibadah with yaqeen, since yaqeen is as an acceptance of an ibadah and having rida of the qadr. You see. It's all again as worship. Yaqeen is also the worship of the heart. Okay, yaqeen is a worship of the heart. So for example, I wake up in the morning, right? I perform my wudu and I pray. Okay, I pray. I do my very best in my prayer. With full yaqeen in my heart, inshallah, this will count for something on the day of judgment. All right? Whether or not it will count for something on the day of judgment is out of my hands. Allah will decide, right? Allah will decide if He wants to forgive me of all my flaws in my prayers and accept my prayers from me, He will do so. But I have that yaqeen because it will make me pray every day. If I say to myself, you know what, I don't even know whether my prayers count, I don't care, I don't want to pray anymore. See shaitan, shaitan, right? I have the yaqeen. So if I read, right, if I take a cup of water and I read Surah Fatiha, get Surah Fatiha, say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, and read Surah Fatiha, and I drink the cup of water, I with full yaqeen that it will cure me. If I am not cured, that is Allah's decree, Allah's will. And I submit myself that Allah knows that me keep being in this illness is for the best of me. It's for the best for me. And I could be doing this every single day, reading Surah Fatiha into the water with full yaqeen. Yes, full yaqeen. But also full yaqeen that Allah will choose what is best for you. You get that? So don't confuse decree and effort. Don't confuse them. Having yaqeen in your heart is part of your effort, right? Part of your effort. Right? But whether or not it will give a result, that's Allah's to decide. You know, Allah will control that. And that is why we continue doing what we do. And that is why we accept, right? When you know when things don't happen the way you want them to. You get me? Right. So yesterday I mentioned the statement someone said that you did 41 years since, confirm you will get what you want. No, you can't say that. You can't say that. But the whole point of dua, if you've been listening to Zainab, the morning classes, the whole point is ibadah. Ibadah. So when I read my 41 Yasins, and I have done 400 Yasins on a particular hajat, 400 Yasins, it has not materialized. And that is not a problem to me. It's not a problem. Having done 400 Yasins is ibadah on my account on the judgment, and I hope in that. I have hope in that. That Allah gives me reward for doing the Yasins. Right? It has not materialized whatever I'm asking for. Right? It has not materialized. And that's regardless. It's regardless. Get me? How you are getting this? Okay? So when Sayyidina Abu Zayd al-Khudri read the Fatiha and he spat, on the wound of that person, on the king, right? It's Allah's will to cure the person. It's Allah's will. Through this means. Could the person have been cured without the Fatiha, without the spitting? Yeah. Yes, very, very well so, yes. If Allah decrees for it to happen, yes. But Allah wanted things to happen. So Allah made it happen in that way. You get me? And so Sayyidina Abu Sa'id al-Khudri, what he did was ibadah. That was all he did, ibadah. And if let's say he read Fatiha and his pen, it didn't work, right? The guy is still in pain. It's just go on your way. Right? Like you get stung by a scorpion, it's your problem. Like, in a sense, right? If we tried to help, and it didn't work, okay, fine, it doesn't diminish, Surah Fatiha in any way, no. But it's Allah's power. It is Allah's power, full stop. Khalas. And Allah decrees what He wants to do. Understand this. Understand this. The yaqeen itself is a worship. It's a form of worship. You have yaqeen in your dua, yes. Whether or not it happens, it is something is secondary. Can we understand that? Can you understand that? Okay, yaqeen is ibadah. It's the ibadah of the heart. Yaqeen. Right? But it doesn't determine anything. Nothing that the creation does determines anything. Can we understand that? Right? So if you worry about not having confidence to be parents, for example, because we know of your shortcomings, then precisely what we're talking about. You are relying on yourself, and that is not your place to do. Why are you relying on yourself to be parents? Why? Who is the one that brings up every human being? Who is the one who gives guidance? Who is the one who prevents guidance? Who is the one who inspires tawfiq in a person to do good deeds? Who? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Not you from start to end, not you. Not you at all. If everyone was to think that, nobody would be doing da'wah, I tell you. If everybody would think that, all my shorts and my shortcomings, I can't call people to Islam, I can't speak to people, I can't teach, I can't this, I can't that. Yeah, if I want to reflect on my shortcomings, I won't do a single thing. I always lie down in bed and be wasted. But we never rely on ourselves from start to end. We don't rely on ourselves from start to end. We do what we can as worship and as hope in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah accepts from us. But hidayah, Allah does it. It's not you. It was never you. Parenting, Allah does it. It was never you. Right? It's never you. Like you make your righteous intentions, you try your very best. That's on your ibadah, your effort, your ibadah. Right? Drill into your head, your ibadah. Whether your child turns out right or wrong, that is in the decree. Wa khalas. You hope, you see goodness, something that will please you, you hope so, right? But it could very well not be. And if it's not, then Allah knows. Allah knows why. Get me? Right? So understand, can you please understand, effort and decree, effort and decree. Tamam. Right? Understand that you don't control a thing in your life. You don't control a thing. All you are given is choices. And make the right choice. And then hope for reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But what comes as a result of the choice is not yours to own. Right? It's not yours to determine. It's Allah's. Right? Understand that. The belief in the qada and the qadar is deep. It is deep. And you can get it. Oh, this is where the awliya are. They have gotten it. They've understood. Right? And then they've entrusted their matter to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and they leave it. And that is why also, about prophets, right? When I mentioned this before in my previous classes, that you cannot ascribe forms of anxiety or worry or doubt to prophets, because prophets are the first people to be completely reliant on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They are the first people, right? They have 100% reliance on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, 100%, right? Subhanallah, and we, so they cannot possibly fall into feeling doubtful of themselves, right? And this is why for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the dua of Ta'if, that shows clearly the state of a human being, right? Like he complains to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala of his weakness, of his loneliness in the eyes of people, right? And of the people who are around him. And then he says, but if Allah is not angry with him, he does not care. The whole point of it is seeking Allah's pleasure. And he seeks protection in Allah's in the light of Allah's countenance, subhanahu wa ta'ala. He shows us exactly where it is. At the lowest point in his life, in Ta'if, it was the lowest point in his life. He showed us that he recognizes that he has many flaws. He has many flaws. But it is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who will determine. And Allah reminds the Prophet so often in the Quran, O Prophet, right, do not beat yourself up on this. O Prophet, do not worry about this. Allah will guide whosoever He guides. Allah knows the hearts. Don't beat yourself about this. Do what you can, do your best, and khalas. Right, khalas. Subhanallah. So yes, Allah does comfort His Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, right? But not other human beings. Right? Allah Himself, right? He guides His own Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now, وقوله أنه تعالى سميع بصير, and the statement that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is all hearing, He is all seeing. Now, Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad. Now, right? Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad. Right, so that, and the statement is, Aqidah does so much for you, And I hope you're seeing this. Aqidah, like a real solid Aqidah, it fixes your entire life. Like really, like I personally see it in my own life. Because to teach it, I will have to implement it, because otherwise I won't be able to express to you all of these realities if I myself am not applying this in my own life, right? I have to apply this in my own life, and there are matters in my life that you have to have rida. You have to have rida on these matters. You have to let go on these matters. You try your very best. You try and influence people. You try and talk to people. You try and make things clear to people. You try and you try and you try. Then well, khalas. That's it. That is why it's on your back to try. That's on your back to try. The result Allah will determine. Right? Aqidah fixes the human being. It does. It fixes the human being. Right? And as the more you learn Aqidah, the more you should see change in how you face the world, in how you see the world, right? How you see life. And you should see change in that. And I hope you all are getting this, and that it's a transformation, inshallah. It's a transformation in ourselves, right, as we go on in life. And I hope it cures whoever here who's suffering from a lot of worry, a lot of anxiety, a lot of depression, a lot of inward turmoil. I hope you're feeling yourself getting cured. There was a lady that was last week during the one of my sessions. She spoke to me about her recurring anxiety, and she asked me how to stop it. Right? She wants to stop the recurring anxiety. She keeps getting anxiety since she was 17. Now she's 30, and she keeps getting this recurring anxiety, and it really incapacitates her. And I asked her one thing: are you going for classes? And the answer is no. She's doing dhikr whenever she can. She does Quran whenever she can. That's what she told me. She does Quran whenever she can, does dhikr whenever she can. And I asked her, but you need to go for classes. You need to go for classes. Please go for classes. And then she said she has no time for classes. So that is why you can't pull yourself out of this. And because you're not being spoken to. Classes like counseling basically, right? It places things as they are. That's what classes do for us. It places things as they are. So for me, every single day I will tune into Habib Omar. I have to hear him. And because it will put things for me in context. And you understand things from the clarity of Quran and Hadith. And it helps you in life. Inshallah. Inshallah, tomorrow we'll go into Sami' and Basir. We're not behind, inshallah. If next year I take it off for next half of the book, I will have to rush a bit. Inshallah, we're not so behind. And I know we have to hit up to 50 something, but we'll see how it goes. Barakallahu fikum. I began here with the year force actually. At this point, I began at this point year force this year. Right. So inshallah, yani we will continue, and we will reach wherever we reach it by the end of this semester. And we will continue next year, inshallah. We have a few more lessons. Barakallahu fikum. Sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.